Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Malak, with 12 Tribes United. We're going to go on to Deuteronomy 17 and 17, but we're going to start at the 14th verse. It says, When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Now that land that we was coming and going into was the land of Canaan, now known as the land of Israel. Canaan used to possess that land, and later on we, the Israelites, we got that land. All right. It says, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and thou shalt say, I will set a king over me. So here it is, you come into the land and you set a king over you, like as all the nations that are round about me. Now we all know that the Most High is the king, but our people may want a physical king. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. So the Lord is going to choose this king, one from among thy brethren. So this king is going to be what? From among our brethren. And thou shalt set king over thee. So it's going to be an Israelite over thee, which is not. It said, Thou shalt set over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not of thy brother. So the king that we were supposed to, that the Most High told us to set over us, is going to be what? From among our brethren. We read this in Deuteronomy 28 about a prophet from among our brethren. This is talking about a king from among our brethren. It says, we're not going to set a stranger, meaning another nation. When another nation is not going to be set up as a king over us. This king is going to be over our nation. He's going to be one of our brethren, from the midst of our brethren. It says, but he shall not multiply horses to himself. So this is speaking of a king that's what? What does it mean to multiply horses? It means basically to multiply materials. Like having a lot of horses is like having a lot of cars. So this king is going to be humble. This king that the Most High that we're going to set over us. It says, nor cause thy people to return to Egypt. So this king is not going to do what? He's not going to return us back to Egypt. Tell us to go back to Egypt. All right. This king is not going to tell us to go back to Egypt or go back to the philosophies of Egypt and the ideologies of Egypt. Because in Egypt we were committing idolatry and all type of abominations. So this king is going to what? He's not going to lead us back to these nations, meaning the Egyptians in this case, to the end that ye shall multiply horses. What does it mean again? Meaning this king is not going to teach us to be greedy and want to, multiply substances. That's what it means by horses. For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. So this is something that you got to look at, that this king is basically, that the Most High is speaking of, is going to be a humble king, and he's not going to be no materialistic king. All right? Now we know that all the kings of Israel, from Saul on, they had what? Much material. They had a lot of goods. They were rich. So this king is going to be a lowly king. This king is going to be a king that's not going to be that way. It says, 17, neither shall he multiply wives to himself. So this king is what? This king is not going to multiply wives to himself. He's not going to have all these different wives. This shows you what? That this particular king the Most High is speaking of is going to be what? It's going to be in a lower state, a humble state. He's not going to be exalted like King Solomon or King David or any of the kings of Israel. This king is going to be what? It's going to be different, this king. This is why he's not going to have many wives, because if you see in the history that our kings had what? Multiple wives. So it's not talking about them, because the Most High didn't tell the King David or King Solomon that they're going off by having more than one wife, because they didn't fit this. They wasn't this ultimate king of Israel. These men were in the place. Most High showed different kings that we had, from Saul, then it went to David, and then it went to his lineage. And what happened? When we went into Babylon, Judah went into Babylon, but the kingship we was no longer in that state, meaning in that kingship state, Judah was no longer in that state of kingship. The lineage still went on, but we were no longer, ruling. That's what that means. So, and watch what it says, that his heart turned not away. Now, we read Deuteronomy 7th chapter. This is speaking of the 7th chapter. What would turn us away? Now, we read Deuteronomy 7:1. It shows you, when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land where thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater than and mightier than thou. So these are what? These are Hamitic nations, mainly subgroups of the Canaanites. Now we read down 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them thy daughter. Thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou not take unto his son. So when we went into the land of Canaan, we was not supposed to take wives of those nations. And this is even though this mentioned only the woman of Canaan, it means it basically means what? No non-Israelite woman we're supposed to take as wives. It says, for they would turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods, so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy ye suddenly. So this king not to multiply wives unto himself is talking about not to have women of other nations, because the scriptures say his heart not turn away. All right, your heart is not gonna. When the kings of Israel had wives, those other wives did not turn them away. But King Solomon, when he married what? Women of other nations. All right, because Egypt also means bondage. He married women of other nations, and what? His heart turned away. All right, so this king is not going to be making those type of mistakes like King Solomon and so forth and so on. And other kings that married women of other nations, and their heart did turn away. Look at Ahab and Jezebel. So this king is going to be a holy king, a blameless king. All right, and he's not going to be a king that exalts himself, all right, above the people. He's going to be a humble, lowly king. All right, you notice it says that the king. It doesn't say kings. All right, because we have many kings. Some are righteous, some are wicked, of Judah and Israel, of the northern and southern kingdom. It was never unlawful for them to have more than one wife, but it was unlawful for them to multiply what? Or to have what? These wives from other nations. All right, and their heart turned away because of it. So this king is not going to do these things. Neither shall he multiply to himself silver and gold. So what? This king is going to be what? He's going to be a lowly king. He's not going to be a king that walks around that has a lot of, materialistic stuff. Like the kings of Israel, the kings of Judah, they were rich. They had gold, silver, diamonds, rubies. But this king that the Most High is going to give us, it's not going to be that way. Let's go to Zephaniah 9:9. Because yes, we have many kings in Israel, but this particular king that we're going to appoint over us is not going to be. It's going to be different. Zechariah 9:9. It's going to show you who this is speaking of. Zechariah 9:9. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Who is the daughter of Zion? Israelites. Shout, O daughter of Israel. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. This is the king you're speaking of in Deuteronomy 17. Because we have many kings. This is a specific king. He is just and having salvation. So this king is gonna what? Gonna have salvation with him. Lowly. See that? This king is gonna be what? Lowly. He's not gonna multiply to himself wives, multiply himself silver or gold. He's definitely not gonna be married to a woman of other nation. But he's gonna be a lowly king. He's not gonna multiply himself horses and silver and gold. It says, and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. So this king is going to be what? Lowly. He's going to be riding upon a what? A donkey. All right. So now let's see who this prophecy fit. Matthew 21. Matthew 21. Bear with me because I'm just getting this lesson together. Matthew 21 and 2. Let's show the prophecy being fulfilled, because this is all a prophecy of the coming Messiah. It says, Matthew 21 and 2, saying unto them, go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied, and a colt with her loose, and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them unto me. And if any man shall aught say unto you, ye shall say, the Lord have need of it, and straightway he will send them. And after all this was done, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, tell ye the daughter of Zion, behold, thy king cometh unto thee, meek, and sitteth upon an ass, and a colt, the foal of an ass. And the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded them, and brought the ass and the colt, and put on them their clothes, and they set them thereon. So this prophecy was fulfilled by who? Who was the lowly king? Who was the king that didn't multiply horses to himself? He just got one little donkey, one little ass. He didn't have a bunch of horses, meaning he didn't have a bunch of substance. All right? And watch what it's going to say. And a great multitude spread their garments in the way. Others cut down branches from the trees and strawed them in the way. And the multitude that went before and that followed cried, saying, Hosea to the Son of David. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Hosea in the highest. And when he was... All right, that's the end of that. All right, so that's one scripture. Let's go to Mark 11. See, we have many kings of Israel, but no one fit that description in Deuteronomy 17. They all had multiple wives. They all had they had a lot of substance, gold, silver. All right, there's only one king, our ultimate king, who fit this description, who fit this prophecy. Mark 11 and 2. And said unto them, Mark 11 and 2, and said unto them, go your way into the village over against you, and as soon as ye entered into it, ye shall find a colt tied, whereupon never man sat. So this colt was what? Nobody never sat on this colt before. It says, you'll find it. When no man sat, loose him and bring him. And if any, so this colt would be tied up. And if any man say unto you, why do you this? I mean, why did you untie this colt? Say unto him, the Lord have need of him, and straightway he will send him hither. And they went their way and found the colt tied by the door without in a place wherein the two ways met, and they loosed him. And certain of them that stood there said unto him, what do ye loosen the colt? Meaning, why are you loosing that colt? And they said unto him, them even as Jesus had commanded them, and they let them go. And they brought the colt to Jesus and cast their garments on him, and he sat upon him. So this is what showing that lowly king that Zephaniah is speaking of the Messiah. He didn't multiply himself wives. He didn't multiply himself silver, gold. All right. So I'm gonna say shalom. You can give us a call, area code 347-465-1305. Shalom.